Okay, some guy on here. Some guy on
Hold
here.
on.
Hello?
Sorry, just one second. Oh, fuck. Oh, and sorry about that. Yeah. I'm actually,
You're actually... What?
okay, so I was playing,
Wait. Hold on. The speakers over here are turned way down.
you can't hear anything?
Yeah, I can kind of hear you. Can you just kind of like sing for a minute or yell or do stuff for a minute until I get the volume figured out?
Fuck, man. So, I don't know if what's going on with this singing, but I guess I'll try and keep a note.
Stop!
Stop?
Yeah, that wasn't a song at all. It was just like this kind of an annoying note. You know what I mean? Like...
It reminded me of going to church when I was a kid. There was always they always had the one old man in the choir who'd make like way too low a note for everyone else.
I went to Catholic church.
Same.
And I remember they sang... Trying to remember the songs.
Did you have like through him, with him, in him, and the divinity of the Holy Spirit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had, And do you remember the... Something, I don't know. I don't remember the rest of it.
I don't know if we had that one.
Um... Holy, holy, Hosanna in the highest.
Yeah, I know that one. Hosanna in the highest. That was good. It's a good one, classic. Yeah, I was just actually, I think the audio was fucking up because I had my mic. I was playing The Division right now. It's okay.
Wait, hold on. Great Zot is saying in the chat, that's one I remember. Christ has died.
Yeah.
Christ is risen. Christ will come again. I remember that.
Yeah, that one was. I remember I went as a kid and then I stopped going to church. And my one of my friends from high school like died, and I hadn't been in like over a decade. And so we went to the funeral back at the same church.
Yeah.
And me and my buddies just couldn't stop giggling because we remembered the one old man who just like was really overdoing it. He was like,
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually if you remember, I had a different username before ArmadilloRacer.
Oh, okay.
You made fun of that the title of Gospel of Peanut Butter Face, and that was a lot of parody of like
Oh, yeah.
Catholicism and stuff growing up.
Yeah.
How are you doing? What was the what you decided in streaming for? Were you just editing or something? I just tuned in.
Just finished this new video that's coming out.
Okay.
Some people might have seen it. We've shown aspects of it. We kind of showed it at a couple panels, but on a large scale, the internet hasn't seen it, so hopefully it will go over well. It seemed like the right moment to share it.
That's great.
So we'll see how it goes. Yeah.
I'm just starting a job on Monday, and I've been trying to get in my head for saving up to go to GameDays for the first time. I've tried to go past years, and like I was just way too fucking broke to do it.
Yeah,
like,
it can get pricey, you know. I understand.
and like it would be no problem like if I was in any other country, but like Canada Airlines have like a monopoly. I don't know if you're aware of the situation where even to fly like a return trip to only California, I'd be looking at over $1,000, and that the Canadian dollar's low too right now. You guys are killing us.
Yeah, sometimes that can affect it. But yeah, I didn't know you're in Canada. Well, I'm sorry about that, but hopefully you can make it for the next one.
Yeah, no, I'm totally set on doing it this time. I'll cripple myself financially if I have to. I'm really
Good.
excited for it.
It's worth it. I do that every year, and it's fine.
Yeah.
I buy so many Vinylmations with everybody that I end up going into fucking debt.
Yeah, I never understood I like the collectability of those little figures, but I never understood the craze of, and it's not even the fact that they're not well designed or anything. I just think if you have all these unique characters, molding them into the same kind of like shape kind of bugs me. But
well, yeah, I mean, it's all supposed to be. It's supposed to all be a uniform thing with different accents. Like, I get it. It's not. If they were making custom figures, you'd get like 3 of them. You wouldn't get so many. You know, it's meant to be giant swaths of stuff and all fitting a uniform theme. So I get it. Some of them look fun. Like, some of them are like, wow, they made that one look like this. That's cool. But then some of them, that shape really wrecks. Mostly like when they look like a human. Like, a human being in that Mickey shape is just like, what the fuck are you doing?
yeah, no, I understand that, and it's not even a problem with the proportions.
Yeah.
I just don't like when they like it's always ears or something. And what bugs me so much is when they have like the clear ears. It's like you couldn't even work that creatively into it.
Yeah, with the Pirates of the Caribbean ones that they did, they were more clever with it. Instead of making them clear, like, oh, there's no ears here, they would add details of the background or the sky. So, like, the Pirates ones would have stars on the ears. And the reason why is they said, well, you know, if you go on the ride, the first thing you notice as a kid is it really looks like you're in nighttime. And so they put that there. And I was like, oh, that's kind of a clever thing, you know, whatever.
Yeah, I respect that.
Better than, yeah, it's clear. They're not there.
I think the worst for me, and I love Medicom for their like larger figures, but like their bear brick things just look kind of horrid.
Yeah, I'm not into. You know, I like the Disney ones primarily because they do so many different disparate designs and obscure stuff, and they're cheap. Bear bricks are kind of that thing, but like, okay, here's a $200 Daft Punk one. It looks like a fucking bear. I just don't. That doesn't. You know what I mean? It's like disqualified almost. Like,
yeah, and the bear isn't even iconic though. That's the thing. Is like you're fitting it to a Mickey Mouse and like all
yeah, Mickey. It's one of the most. Say whatever you want about it. It's just like the Nike Swish. It's one of the most definitive brands ever. So you know why they're doing it. But yeah, bear. Who's this fucking bear?
Yeah,
like, who is this from the Great Outdoors or what is this bear? Like what?
I never really paid attention to their logo. Maybe it's something to do with their old logo. I don't know. It just seems really specific.
Yeah, bear. Yeah, I don't know. Why is it a bear? Make it a rat. Well, make it a human. I don't know. Weird.
I was gonna ask a question about like trailers because I know this might get some hate because I feel like everyone just loves to rag on Michael Bay. I think the first Ninja Turtles movie he released. It was pretty shitty all around. The second one, I think they took some weird chances by making Bebop and Rocksteady look sort of cartoony. And it's like, people seem to hold on to that franchise like it was some kind of golden franchise.
Yeah.
But Ninja Turtles was always stupid, and that's what people loved about it. It just was over the top. There's nothing smart about it.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you saw that trailer to the second one. I thought it actually looked kind of refreshing.
Well, yeah, I was going to say... Ninja Turtles is one of the things I loved as a kid that I could give a shit about now. It just like that filled a need as a kid. It didn't really carry over into anything that inspired me later. Like, honestly, like I still talk about Power Rangers and I have Power Ranger stuff because that still to this day had an effect on how I like to edit shows or edit things or stylistically the way that they would compose stuff in this Japanese show. Still inspires me. Ninja Turtles doesn't really have an effect on me anymore. I mean, I'm not really... Doesn't affect me. But, you know, it's fun to see stuff every now and then. Like, oh, remember this guy? Oh, remember Krang? You know, okay, whatever. That being said, I thought that the original Ninja Turtles is one of the ugliest things I've ever seen of these new movies. The first one of these new movies.
Yeah. No, it was terrible looking.
Yeah, and this new trailer that came out, it's crazy. It hits the list of everything I would have wanted as a kid. In terms of it being gonzo and kind of stupid, and here's a rhino and a giant pig and the Technodrome and the fucking Krang suit and all these big colorful things bursting out of stuff is what I would have loved as a kid. And honestly, the only thing that I think is heartbreaking, and I think why there's still resistance on this stuff, the turtles are so fucking ugly and hard and painful to look at. They are giant hulking, they fucking snot monsters.
I think of Locust from Gears of War. They've got all
Yeah.
the Gears of War gear on, like grenades.
Yeah, they
and
look
shit.
like they look like they're gonna burst out of the ground and say "Die, human!" Like they just look like these fucking. How can I love that? Like, how can I, honestly, and I sound like fucking old man saying this, but they got the look. I'm not saying they have to do them the same way or they should go back to this, but they nailed the look of them in the first fucking movie in 1989. That was how I pictured a human turtle to look at. To look like
Rocksteady, despite being CGI, look great. Like
those, they look how I imagine the new characters. Again, Krang and like Bebop and Rocksteady and all that. They look how I always pictured them to look in real life. Now I do like. I wish they weren't CG. I think kind of physical stuff is better. But that being said, for CG, I think they look really really cool. But in terms of humanized turtles walking around, it's just. What a fucking mess. And they nailed that in the 1989 movie. Jim Henson knew what the fuck he was doing. They walk around, they're humanized, but the real key is they don't have a nose. Not having a nose makes them more, it sounds weird, but cuter. It's a weird word to use, but in all honesty, giving them a nose, it makes them an ugly human. Without the nose, you don't think of a human, you think of just a humanized turtle. It's a turtle, it's a creature. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah. It's kind of like the what's that thing they call Ikana Valley or whatever.
Yeah.
Where you get too close to a human form and it's not human. It's like this looks off. It looks ugly. Yeah.
It's funny because I think was it Kevin Eastman? Who worked on the original Ninja Turtles said that was one of his stipulations with the old movies was they would go off and do their own thing, but he was like, okay, but artistically my stipulation is you do not give them a nose. They don't look like a nose will throw the whole thing off. And that's what they did with these new ones, and they just look like shit. But all the other things I thought looked really, really nice. So
yeah, no, it's all right. And a big complaint about the previous one, I didn't even see it. I might see the second one because it's more
I couldn't finish the first one. Yeah, I turned that off. I couldn't. You know what it was? Not to go off. I know you're about to say some other stuff, but I turned it off because I couldn't. It's one thing to have references, but like Michelangelo wasn't even a fun guy in this new movie. He was fucking annoying. Like he was the guy that who would try to make friends with you and be so annoying that you'd say you were going to go to the bathroom and you'd just drive home. Like, the whole time Sheldon. He's going, whoa, is this guy some kind of Jedi? Whoa, fucking RoboCop coming over here. Whoa, walking tin can. Whoa. Like, it wasn't, Michelangelo would make jokes in the old one, but this guy was just, like, making references to the fucking Office and Star Wars. So every 3 seconds, it was like, all right, chill.
Yeah, I've sworn off the Avengers movies, but I still like seeing the side movies, and I just saw Civil War, and they reserved Spider-Man's humor so much, and I think that was a great idea for that.
Good.
They really reserved it, and I thought they could have gone so overboard with it, and it was a good idea. Like you had just as many jokes coming from like Paul Rudd and stuff. It was great.
Yeah, that's cool. I heard good stuff about that movie.
Yeah, because I don't like seeing the Avengers movies because. To me, in terms of being a filmmaker and stuff, a superhero isn't a genre, and they've treated it like it's a genre.
Yeah.
And I think when you have something like Civil War, and especially Winter Soldier was really good at this, it was just a spy movie. There just happened to be superheroes in it. I want to see horror movies with superheroes in them. I want to see actual genres, not like team up, defeat the bad guy, team up, defeat the bad guy. That's a plot. It's not a genre,
Yeah, it seems like it's better when it's a really intense situation with a character you like thrown into it, as opposed to just jerk off fest for that character. And I think that's honestly that's kind of why I liked Christopher Nolan's Batman movies personally.
Yeah.
The first one was traditional superhero movie, but done the best it could do for that time. But The Dark Knight was just a great crime movie, but you just got to see how Batman interacted with it. How is Batman going to solve this huge crime thing going on? And that's why I liked Dark Knight Rises too, was just because it was kind of the traditional disaster movie,
really?
but how do you throw Batman into that, you know?
I guess I never saw it like that. I really saw Rises, and I never really heard anyone else say this before. I guess I just realized this now, but it's kind of just the first movie backwards in a way where, like, you know, he breaks his back, and it's kind of like the same part as training with Ra's al Ghul, and like when Bane is setting up those bombs, it's kind of like, oh, we gotta get the vaporizer from going off. Like,
Sure.
it's kind of just the first movie again, just shaking up the formula.
Sure.
But yeah, no, absolutely The Dark Knight, and I do like the other ones. I don't think the first one's as superhero. I guess like the whole.
I guess not.
Yeah,
it's an origin story, but it
Yeah.
tries to do it in the most human way possible. You know, how could someone really go through this? How could someone really do this? So that's why I liked it. But just in general, it seems like movies are better when it focuses on an interesting thing happening instead of just up the universe's ass. You know, instead of, you know, we got to show origin of this and this and this and this and this. Instead of that, it's like, okay, well, here's, you know, I didn't see Winter Soldier, but everyone told me it was an intense situation that happened to be Captain America having to interact with it, you know, and maybe that's better, you know.
And really, that's more comic book than comic book movies are, because that's the thing with comic books is they've been around forever and they're serialized so that they've done every story, so they have to go in weird, specific plots and directions.
Yeah.
And when you just have like, oh, here's the entirety of what you think of in the Wikipedia page of superhero as our movie, it just doesn't work. It's like you need like to get weird with it.
Yeah,
know?
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Specific. I think superhero movies just have to get really specific.
Yeah.
Like, and I think they're just too vague right now.
Sure.
Yeah. Those just my thoughts. I was just playing The Division. Have you picked up that?
No.
Did you play Destiny at all? I can't recall about that.
A little bit.
It's the same thing, pretty much. I didn't pick up Destiny, but I feel like this is just Activision's response to that.
Yeah.
It's just in a different scenario. It's just all grinding and shooting people. So, it's what you did.
Yeah, I was kind of whatever on doing that. But on checking that out. But yeah, I have a lot of friends playing it though.
Yeah, I would have never bought it had I not been paid to test it, because the Ubisoft headquarters is in Toronto, and I applied for it, and they paid me like $400 just to play it for a week.
Oh, nice! Wow.
And it was cool. Yeah, so I got to play it like 8 hours a day, and at the time it was a lot better too, because I had a surgery done on my chest, and I was high on Percocets the whole time, painkillers. That's my weird ass PS4 controller making noises. You heard that? You know when it comes through the controller speaker?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a lot more immersive on Percocets.
Oh, okay.
Pain medication, and now it's not as like good, but I don't know, it's still playable.
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, thanks for calling in.
I haven't called in a long time. I thought I'd check up.
Yeah, thank you for doing that. Thanks. Good call.
All right, take it easy.
All right, have a good one, man. Take it easy. Very good call. Good conversation.